experience, the lead maintainer of Latterly.io and Aria's Tale. Aria's Tale in front of us, this is an open source narrative game world. It's a TCG, it's a TRPG. It's going to be a book. So here's the narrative. It's a narrative game world. Made with generative AI, bunch of fun. And we're building the website today. We're implementing social authentication. So if you go to ariastale.com, the one that's already deployed, you can currently sign in or join now with Discord. It's fully open source, by the way. Click the GitHub to see the code. And in today's video, we're trying to add sign in or join now with Google and Facebook. Okay, we're using the T3 stack. T3 stack has Next Auth as the authentication provider. This will work with OAuth. And so here's the documents. And here is a useful tutorial specifically to Google. It's a little bit dated, I think, although not much. Let's see, there was a step in here. When we got to the T3 stack, the MJS file is no longer with us. Yeah, so when it refers to env.mjs, this is pretty much this is one of two things that I would change. Now it's env.js, not mjs. The other thing that I would change is that in this tutorial, they switch the Discord provider for a Google provider. I don't want to do that. I want to have two providers. So that's a little wrinkle that's not covered in this dev.to article, and that's really the motivation for today's video. That's where we're adding value. Otherwise, I would just send you the link for this dev.to article. But because we want to use multiple providers concurrently, and because we're doing Google and Facebook, not just Google, let's do a video, eh? Thanks for being here. If you think this is interesting, throw a like on the video. And if you are on TikTok, you can go over to YouTube or Twitch. Link is in my bio to see the full screen. Thanks for the follow. Anthony says, I quit my job at Netflix. Ah, wow. I'd be curious to chat about that later. I mean, you can feel free to dump the tea on the stream if you want to, but you can also feel free to DM me. That's interesting. Okay, so here I've gotten started. We can look at my active Git changes. I have a Google client and a Google client secret. I've put a link to the dev.to article in the env example. Here in the env.js, I'm adding the Google client ID, the Google client secret into this Zod. Zod is basically going to throw an error if the environment variable isn't found. And it's basically parallel or copying the Discord pattern. What language are you using? This is JavaScript right here. And the application will include a mix of JavaScript and TypeScript. Anthony says they tried to steal my personal code. That's wild. Wow. Okay, so here it says z.string. This is a Zod validation. It'll throw an error if the variable is not found. And then separately, here is where I pass in the value that is read out of my env file. So this is an env.example, but there's a sibling file .env, and that contains my actual secrets. I'm using VS Code with the tear off. Now we can tear off these tabs. So I've torn off the tab and I have it on my other screen, so I won't be showing that on screen, but I have the env file over here. And I've already populated it with values from Google Cloud Console. So here's the Google Cloud Console. One of the wrinkles with this is that I have been given test API keys. Sorry, test OAuth client. To get a official one, I will need to configure a consent screen, which includes making a privacy policy page. So we're going to want to build a privacy policy page. In fact, I should probably make a note of that on my GitHub issue for this. Here's the repository, Aria's Tale RPG. It's going to talk about Facebook. And here I'll say, also need a privacy policy page as part of this. McKinney, do you have Copilot? Yep, we do use McKinney. Sorry, we do use Copilot. We do use Copilot, and we may use GPT-4 as well, if needed. Okay, so that gives you the background of what I've done so far. And if you're looking at the screen here, you can see the scroll wheel, and this is the location that we are at in this tutorial. And then here, this is the bit where I'm going to try to split from it. So they're saying we will replace the Discord provider with a Google provider. I would rather not do that. And then we can skip this Postgres because I'm using Supabase, not Railway. And so I don't need to configure a database. I already have mine. If we skip that, updating the Prisma schema, like we can skip that. So pretty much we come down to the final step, and this is where they're saying, click on sign in. And in my world, that is the sign in or join now with Discord. And so I've created a second button, sign in or join now with Google. And why not? We can go ahead and make the third. Sign in or join now with Facebook. And here we can see the code. I'll close all of these. Command P, Aria's tail index. Open up the main index. You can see the green line is this code that we've changed. Okay, and you'll be able to see there's the Facebook page now. So they are all pointing to the same sign in, sign out methods. Okay, and this is what we need to change. Now, sign out can be consistent between them. That's fine, because once you're logged in, any of the three will destroy my login session. And so this is fine for all of them. The difference will be the sign in. And you're going to work with me through this. I don't offhand know how to do this. So we're going to want to sign in with Discord. We're going to sign in with Google. And we're going to sign in with Facebook. So I've named them distinctly, and this might be the wrong thing to do. Maybe I should just call them sign in and pass Discord. Maybe this is the thing to do. But at the moment I'm doing this, and then we'll look over in the sign in function and see what happens here. So this is within next auth, okay? So this is not something I'm going to be able to edit actually. What's the void keyword? It means it doesn't return anything. That's what void means. It also means it returns undefined. It returns undefined. In other languages, it might return null, or none, or nil. But basically, it's meant to run an action rather than to actually calculate and return something. That's the point of a void method. Okay, so here, let's look in our authorization params and our options. I saw it in the JavaScript, not TypeScript. Yeah, I don't see any void here in the JavaScript file. So, oh, thanks for the follow. So here we're going to get providers, cool. The base URL will be the same regardless, but the callback will change by provider. I think I actually plan to use the same callback for all my providers. Okay. So I'm not seeing a difference yet for provider and providers. Callback and redirect. Okay, we can configure that. Authorization params. Somehow I need to tell this function which provider to use. Oh, well, okay. I skipped down here to these latter two without looking at the first one. So the first one is provider. So yeah, this thing where we said with Facebook, with Google, with Discord, we are going to do the alternative pattern where I do the provider as an argument. I mean, we can check, is this a built-in provider? It's going to be one of these. It's one of these OAuth provider types. Yep. Okay, cool. By the way, these are all of the OAuth providers that Next.js Auth supports, which is a ton of them. You can sign in with LinkedIn. You can sign in with GitHub, a bunch of other really interesting ones. But we're just going to do a few. Line 107. Which file are you referring to? So the JavaScript file doesn't have 107 lines. This is the end tag. Line 107 here is empty. And these are all TypeScript files, by the way. So I suspect you probably saw the void keyword in the TypeScript file. Maybe I was changing files quickly, huh? Okay, so let's do OAuth provider type dot, and I'll hover quick fix import it from OAuth. And I'll say Discord. Can I do that? Refers to a type, but it's being used as a value here. Okay. Yeah, so I'll just use the string literal. I wish they had an enumeration. It seems like, okay, they don't have an enumeration. So I'll use the string literal Discord. And that will match with the type. You can log in with Coinbase. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know why they wouldn't just make an enumeration out of that, but whatever. Cool, so we have Discord. Going to go out on a wild guess here and hope that the type values are just what's on the 10. That would make sense, wouldn't it? Okay, so Discord, Google, Facebook. Now, what do we expect? I expect Discord to work. Okay, great. I'm going to go ahead and cancel, but that's basically working. Ooh, here's Google. And then Facebook, I would not expect to work. Oh, this is interesting. So they're all going to show here regardless. This app's request invalid. Ooh, that stinks. And then that takes me here. Okay, I think that's fine. The interesting thing is that I've come here, regardless of my sign-in. Which makes me wonder, like, do I even need these things? Do I even need these things? Maybe I just made a problem for myself that doesn't exist. Yeah, let's try it. With just one that says sign in or join now. So we will hide Google and Discord. Sign in or join now. And it's taking me straight to Discord. Signing in with a different account. Okay. Why do you put the void in void sign in? Right, so this is TypeScript. This is not JavaScript. And the reason that we're putting a void here is because it's not going to return any data. It doesn't return anything. It just executes a function. By it doesn't return anything, technically it returns undefined. But that's the point, is this is the type of the function. It's a void function. Let's try, oh, and here I've said Discord. That's why it went immediately there. So now if I do this, it'll be ambiguous and it might show me the secondary screen, I guess. Yeah, okay. Okay. So let me undo. And let's try the Google again. The Google. And so it will not show me a secondary screen. It will go straight to attempting Google. Yeah, okay. So I get it. So that's an interesting question. Which is best? I don't know. Let me know in the chat if you have a preference. Should I show you Discord, Facebook, Google here? Or should I be ambiguous and let you pick on the second page? I guess in the spirit of fewer clicks, I'll do all of them up here. But the other one seems more scalable. If I have like 10 providers, I don't want to clog up the real estate basically, because this is already taking a lot of real estate. One button choice with screen after. All right, thanks, Carl. Can I get a +1 one way or the other? I'll go ahead and start doing that, but let me know if y'all agree. Just feels cleaner. Yeah, I agree. I have intuition both ways because on the one hand, that does feel cleaner, but on the other hand, we know that you want to reduce the number of clicks for your end user, right? And so this is introducing another screen, another click. Okay, so this Discord works and this Google doesn't. So let's go see why. So if I click here, and I clicked the wrong thing. If I click here, redirect URI mismatch. So this is the redirect URI, and the error is correct because when I registered the Google account API, I didn't use this callback URL. So let's go over to the Google console. These are the origins and these are the redirect URIs. So here I'm going to add this URI. And in theory, that might be the only thing I need to do. It says it may take 5 minutes to a few hours to take effect. Time for me to practice my comedy routine to keep y'all entertained for 5 minutes, I guess. In the meantime, we can work on the privacy screen. I think Laterally already has a privacy policy. Let's take a look. I'll basically rip the content from Laterally. Okay, so let's make a privacy policy page. We will right click here, close others, go to the File Explorer, collapse source, uncollapse source, right click on pages, new file, privacy-policy.tsx. And I was a bit overeager when I grabbed the content from Laterally because we want to use this page content. Also, I see the Auth provider type. I don't need that anymore. Command-Shift-P, sort imports. Looks like they were already sorted. Cool. And so what I'm really getting out of copying that is this custom page bit. I don't need the session elements, I don't think. Yeah, you don't need to be logged in to view the privacy policy, so we won't need to use session. Are you working on an AI text game? Yeah, so Aria's Tale is a generative AI text and images and more. It's not just text. We're trying for video. The video is not that good, like the generative AI tools like Runway ML. Still aren't quite good enough. So yes, Aria's Tale leverages generative AI for play sessions. We aren't dealing with that today though. Anthony says, do you have to work on a Saturday night? No, this is open source. So this is not like my day job. So ariastail.com. Here's the GitHub. So this is just fun for me. Big Bubba says, cool, man. Thank you so much, Big Bubba. Thanks for being here. If you're enjoying the video, tap like. That will help the algorithm send it to other potentially interested users. Give the page a follow, and if you're on TikTok, you can check out Twitch or YouTube. The link is in my bio to see the full screen. Okay, so here we are on the privacy policy page. We'll change the main heading to be privacy policy. Remove this hello. We're going to change the function name. This is going to be called privacy policy page. I don't really even need this return block. I could make it a functional component, but we'll leave it alone. Auth showcase is no longer needed. We'll remove all that. Okay. These dice are not needed. So then the div containing the dice is not needed. So this React fragment is not needed. Okay. So there's a couple imports that are not needed. We're almost under 50 lines. I think and now we will go grab this content. So here's the laterally privacy policy. We're going to change some of the wording so it doesn't talk about laterally anymore. We'll just call it privacy policy. We'll get rid of the existing content there. How about the div? Do we keep the div? Yeah. We do want to keep that wrapper div. For page style, get rid of those. And then here we will do headings. So we already have the main title, the main heading through the custom page property. So these will be H2s. And this is kind of like a frequently asked questions sort of thing. So we're going to have these H2s, and then we're going to have some paragraph tags. I have questions about my privacy on laterally, and we'll change the wording because it will deal with Aria's tail. But Aria's tail is more or less maintained by the laterally community. Is this React? Yes, we are using React. That's correct. Okay. This would be an H2. H2. Here's a paragraph tag. Fun, fun, fun. I probably should use GPT-4 to do this more efficiently. But we're nearly done. And this should take care of the 5 minutes that Google needed to propagate, won't it? Have an extra paragraph close tag. That's not good. Go up there and backspace on that. Okay, how can I find out about changes? Let's add some line breaks for code readability. We'll break it up by section prior to each H2. Looks good to me. If you are a programmer, professional, or hobby, welcome. Thank you for being here. If you're interested in code, thank you for being here. And consider signing up at laterally.io, which is an open source educational platform that will help you learn to code and land your first or next programming role. You can sign up for free. If you're an awesome programmer, consider contributing to the curriculum. And then you can unlock additional features for as little as $1 a month, an advanced checklist with evidence-based tips to improve your job search, improve your offers, improve your rate of job attainment, and more. And then if you really want to go crazy, you can do $30 a month for the premium tier. In February, that's next month, I will be piloting a small group format. That will be available exclusively to premium members. So if you want a reason for the premium, traditionally the reason for premium has been if you want to be a supporter and get a shout out as being a supporter of Latterly. There is the Hall of Fame. And you can donate anonymously, or you can, there's plenty of anonymous donors. This is a weird one because this is someone who made their portfolio public or made their donation public, but didn't include their name. There's a different kind of donor, which is fully anonymous, that's not even showing on this list. Does that make sense? Anyway, so you can get on that list for being a premium donor, but also now joining the premium tier will give you access to those small groups, limited seats. Okay, let's go back to the paragraph work. Going back. Here we are on localhost. Back. And we're changing laterally. So it looks like we have all our H2s in our paragraphs. Get rid of that X, that shouldn't be there. We can look at the privacy policy page. I think we'll add it to the footer. I think that's a good place to add it. So here we are on the main index. GitHub and Latterly in the footer. Here's the custom page. The custom page comes with the footer. LMNOP, alphabetical, why not? So here we'll go the privacy policy. Okay, that is the aspirational URL. Solid pitch. Thank you, Carl. Oof. Okay, so that will show a link in the footer. We can confirm that. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. And then that will open ariastail.com privacy policy, which hasn't been deployed. So for now, I will manually manipulate the URL /privacy policy. Alternatively, I could have used a relative path, but for search engine indexing and reasons like that, basically for search engine indexing, I like to use absolute paths. So I'm happy to accept the trade-off of manipulating the URL for now. And it looks good. It looks good. We have the heading in the footer, title, and we just need to update the content so that it's not talking about Latterly so much. So we'll say, do we collect anonymous data? Do we collect anonymous data? When you use the ariastail.com, maybe I'll just do a bit of a find and replace here. ariastail.com. When you use the ariastail.com website, we may collect some anonymous data to understand how users interact with the site with, oh, that should say the. Including pages you have visited. It's like traffic information. In what situations do you collect personal data? If you create an account, we collect some personal data to track your progress and to customize your user experience. No, we don't. Not on Aria's tail. If you create an account, we're going to collect your email. That's pretty much it. We collect personal contact information. We collect your email. If you create an ariastail.com account, we collect your email address for authentication purposes. It's really the only thing we do on Aria's Tail. Latterly has like purchases and stuff, but Aria's Tail currently doesn't. In the future, you'll be able to buy like trading cards. And maybe in the future, you will be able to put your real name, like my name's John Vandeveer. Maybe I'll be able to put that on Aria's tail for online game matching, leaderboards, and so on. None of that exists today, so we're not going to put it there currently. Use the ariastail.com website. We may collect some anonymous data to understand how users interact with, I'll just say our site, or with the site. Can I use Aria's tail anonymously? Yes, you can use Aria's tail without creating an account. Without an account, no, yeah. No personal data about you is collected. Although some features will be unavailable to you, such as collecting game items. Okay. If I create an account, what data will you collect? A valid email address. Okay, this is like repetitive. That's fine. It's fine to be repetitive. Can organizations access my data? We do not sell your data, though we do utilize some third-party tools. For example, ariastail.com utilizes Vercel and Supabase. You can check their respective privacy policies for assurance. In addition, ariastail.com is maintained by the open source Laterally community, the Laterally.io community, an open source educational platform. Let's do a separate paragraph for this. So we'll link the Laterally privacy policy. Laterally administrators may access your account details if you require assistance. If you require tech support, view the Laterally.io privacy policy here. Okay. And we will anchor that hyperref over there, target blank to open a new tab, end the anchor here. I have questions about my privacy on Aria's tail on this website. I have additional questions about my privacy. We're here to help. Boop. Throw an exclamation point on there. Reach out to admin@laterally.io. How can I find out about changes to this policy? This version of the privacy, this version of the policy was last updated on what, 113? 113/2023. Keep an eye on your emails, on your email or your emails. Keep an eye on your email inbox for future updates and changes. Cool. I think that works. Let's take a glance at the page. Here I'm looking at the page and I'm noticing the headings are not large. So I'd like to change that. I feel like I've noticed this on a different page on the in the game manual. So let me look over there. Nope. I just put the tailwind on all of those. I guess that's fine. So here, H2, and we'll put this tailwind. Does we collect anonymous data? Does this site collect anonymous data? How about that? Does we do it? Yeah, that looks better. Okay, so we'll basically replace all of the H2s with this tailwinded class. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cool. Save. And now the headings are larger. I do kind of wish this page had more severe gutters. It feels like the text stretching all the way across is kind of janky. But that's okay. I'm going to leave it alone. Don't want to spend too much time on the design. Feel free to contribute if you would like to alter the look and feel of the privacy policy page. Can I use this site anonymously? Making the text a little bit more generic so that the next time I copy and paste it, there's less to alter. I'll stage this file. Here I will make a feature of the privacy policy. By the way, we are having a networking event on the Discord currently, a social networking train. So if you would like to professionally social network with software engineers over LinkedIn, basically like growing your LinkedIn connections, head over to latterly.io, join the Discord, and just drop your LinkedIn there on the general channel is where this is occurring. And you can go see a few people there already. Grow that network. Arcanum, thanks for joining. Welcome. Okay. What to do? Now I'm going to try to log in with Google, basically. Sign in or join now. Sign in with Google. Pick my Gmail. Feel free to contact me there if you'd like. It works. Although the site is aware of my name. So let me update the privacy policy. Apparently, let me check the database real quick so that I can triple check all of the data fields that we collect. Looks like we collect name and email, but I want to see if there's anything else. One thing that I'd like to do here is join accounts. So I wish Aria's tail would be aware. I think it's made me 2 user records here. That's my concern. I wish Aria's tail would be aware that I'm me. I'm the same user, whether I log in with Discord or Gmail. So that will be something that's missing. Name, email, whether it's been verified, ID, and a profile pic. Okay. So name and the profile pic are basically what's left out. So let me go update the privacy policy. Personal data. If you create an Aria's Tail account, we collect your name and email address for authentication purposes. And to personalize your experience. If you create if you create an account through a third-party authentication provider such as Google or Facebook, we will also attempt to collect a copy of your public profile picture. We will also attempt to collect a copy of your public profile picture for the same reasons. That one is more the personalization and less the authentication piece. Public profile picture. For display on your Aria's Tail public profile, if enabled. There we go. Feature more privacy policy. Boop. This feature is Google Auth. We'll commit that, we'll push that. Let me lower my chair. Great, so I'm thinking we'll add Facebook Auth now, and then the account adding we might do in a different stream, unless it just turns out to be incredibly easy. We'll take a look at it and estimate it, and if it seems to take more than 20 minutes, it's going to be a different stream. So let's go add Facebook. Left-clicking, right-clicking, close others. Scrolling down. Holding the command button, clicking sign in. Double click to pin this index file. Okay. And I'm going to command P env.js. Here is where I've added the Discord and Google clients and secrets, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So I will keep it in alphabetical order, and I'll make a Facebook client ID and a Facebook client secret. Unknown type, so the Zod is complaining. That's totally appropriate. So let's go update the Zod. Okay. Facebook client ID, Facebook client secret. I will now update my source env.example, abcd, copy, paste, Facebook client ID, Facebook client secret. I've thought of another reason to prefer the second screen for the provider. And the reason is if somebody else clones Aria's tail and does not provide those secrets, then the additional buttons will not show up if we use the provider page, but they would show up as different buttons if we had went with the former approach. And that would be problematic because those providers would not be set up out of the box. So I do think that's a pretty strong reason to keep this current approach. What is this about? Postgres Prisma URL. Am I using SQLite? There's no way. Command P, Aria's tail. Oh, okay, this is the env.example. I just scared myself so bad. Okay, Postgres Prisma URL. Postgres Prisma URL. Yeah, good. Let me grab these new Facebook ones. So we're using Supabase with Postgres, not SQLite. Okay. What else to do? Now I need to go over to Facebook and make the app. And I also need the callback. So here I'll double click, Command C, Command Shift F, Command V, and it will look, okay, great. And now it's showing my, was that truncated? Here, let's squeeze it to the left. So you're gonna see part of my Discord client ID. I guess that doesn't irritate me too much. Let's exclude that though, going forward, env. Cool. So we can see the places that this is used. And here's one of them. So these are the provider middleware. When I click that sign in button, this is being used. So we want to add here, A, B, C, D, E, F. We want to add the Facebook provider. Nope, doesn't exist. How about this is the Discord TS, Facebook TS, Facebook, what is it called? It's just called Facebook. Got it. So it's not called Facebook provider. It's just called Facebook. Well, it's the default function, so I can call it whatever I want. So here, I could choose to say import Facebook from Facebook, and this would work. This would work. But I'd rather call it Facebook provider. So I'll just rename it, and that works. Slight bummer that the hover trick didn't work. But this is still looking good. Let's change the variable names here. Facebook client ID. Whoa, what happened there? Client ID, client ID. Just one of them, thanks. I'm getting super sleepy. So yeah, I think we're going to pause once this is hooked up. We're going to pause before doing the unified account, the sort of SSO, where it's like Aria's tail resolves whether you log in with Discord or Google or Facebook, it resolves to the same user ID. That will be a separate stream. So if that's an interesting technical problem for you, make sure to follow the page for that. In the meantime, let's verify that the Facebook option is now available. Sign in. Oh, why is it? My name is not there. That was so weird. Ah, okay. So something is busted. Invalid environment variables. Because it's an empty string, I think. Right. So the empty string will be falsy, and that should not irritate Zod, actually. Let me kill this. Maybe I just need to restart my server. Facebook client ID is required. Okay, so we're failing the validity check. Let me see if I can do foo. I thought an empty string would still pass the Zod test, but it seems like it's not doing so. Interesting. Today I learned. So an empty string is a string indeed, but it will still break Zod. So my session has persisted from the time that I logged in using Gmail. So now I'll sign out. Now I'll try to sign in, and I expect to see the Facebook option. Great. This I don't expect to work. I'm going to go ahead and copy this to my clipboard because I think I'll need to use it later. Sign in with Facebook, invalid app ID. Great. So we'll go back, and I will Facebook developers, meta for developers. Here we go. We will go to My Apps. We're going to make a new Facebook app. Here's some old ones that I have. We'll create a new one. There's a new way to create apps with Meta. Great. Authenticate and request data from users with a Facebook login. Yeah. Launch a game that players find and play directly in their feed or messenger. No. It will be a game, but it will be an external game. This is the one I want, I think. Let's go next. Are you building a game? Yes. But I don't think it's the kind of game that you think it is, Meta. Oh, man. Maybe I should just pick no. Let me do a quick Google search on this. Facebook login for gaming. Foundational layer that unlocks Facebook gaming services that helps with acquisition and engagement. Unlocks new Facebook gaming services like sharing for gaming. Okay, what does this do? Expand your player base with socially driven organic engagement. Sharing for gaming enables game content to be shared broadly across Facebook and Instagram. Video clips. Your application needs to enroll in gaming services. This feels like something I don't want to do. Do I have the ability to do this later? Is this a one-way door or a two-way door? It has to be a two-way door. I absolutely can just create a new Facebook app if needed. So I'm going to opt no, I'm not building a game at the moment, even though I really am. Contact email, let's do this one. That will be better. Business account, sure, pick me. Add an app name, Aria's Tale. me take this off screen. Oh, they masked it. Good job, Meta. All is not lost for you. All is not lost for you, Meta. So when I entered the letters, it put the black dots. That's called masking. That's a great security practice, and it's good for streamers. Your app has been created. Yeehaw. Customize adding a Facebook login button. Don't need to. Thanks. Required actions. Let's see. So they're going to do a review similar to Google. For the moment, I would just like my tokens. App settings, basic. Here's an app ID. Okay, great. These are the things that we're going to want to use. So there you are. I'll take this off screen so that you don't steal my stuff. I am copying it and putting it into there's the secret, into my env file. Let's grab the app ID and paste that as the Facebook client ID. Okay. Privacy policy URL. I'll go ahead and add it. It's not deployed yet, but whatever. Terms of service URL. I don't have one of those, so we'll see. Choose a category. Entertainment, definitely. Okay, save changes. Sounds good, I guess. App domains. Let me add the ariastale.com is a registered domain. Oh, is it HTTP? I thought it was HTTPS. Yeah, okay. Don't scare me like that, internet. I'm secure. We can add localhost as well. Localhost 3000. Cool. What to do now? I think that's it. Why does it say sign in or join now with Discord? It shouldn't say that. Okay, because we're on ariastale.com. I'm closing this. Here we are on localhost. I only want one instance of localhost. I'm going to refresh the page. And now we will try to sign in with Facebook. Something went wrong. Let's see what's on the DevTools. I think it's the redirect URI. I didn't mention that. Again, isn't that right? Ambient light sensor, don't recognize. That's going to be it's going to change. Ambient light sensor. No, it doesn't change. Okay. I thought that might have been a semantic UID, but it's not. Okay. Let me look at my settings again. I'm going to keep this off screen because I just don't know what it's going to end up exposing. Let's do advanced settings, I guess. I'm not seeing it in basic settings. Enable if your app is a native or desktop app. Nope, it's not. Do we reference alcohol? Not yet. Client token? Okay. Am I using the wrong ID? I'm using the app ID. Should I be using the client token? Authorized ad account IDs. Okay. Share redirect domain allow list. Yeah, I think this is the part. I need to add a redirect domain allow list. So there's localhost. And then there's Aria's tail. And I want my S in there. Maybe I don't need to put the protocol at all. Maybe I can just do the base name. All right, so I think we'll guess and check twice. And then if the issue remains, I will bother to read some official documentation. I'm also noticing that every time I change pages, Facebook will say I have unsaved changes, even if I had just saved. So that's a bit annoying. Let's go back. Let's try again. Okay, that didn't help. All right. Let me try swapping the app ID for the so-called client token. And then if this is the second thing I'll be guessing and checking, and if this doesn't help, then I will look for the official developer docs. Here's the client token. Thank you. Let me go to my server, kill it, reload it. Okay. Closing this. Here, I'll go to Facebook just to prepare myself. Provided app ID does not look like a valid app ID, because it's not, it is a client token. Okay, so we should indeed use the app ID, not the client token. That's marginally useful, I guess. So yeah, let's take a look at the documentation. I'm using the right app ID. I think the request is actually getting authorized up until the callback point, if I'm not mistaken. So let's read it. Logging people in. Yeah, this is what I'm not seeing. Client ID is the app ID. Redirect URI is the redirect URI. This I'm not seeing. SpeedX says hi. What's up, SpeedX? Thanks for being here. Yep, I have the app ID and the secret both. I wonder if it is I think it's just my redirect URI. Must be the same as the original request URI that you used when starting the OAuth login process. Oh, this is going to be super useful for what I want to do later. Let me make a note of that. This is associating with a known account. That's great. But that's not helping me right now. Access token guide. Are we using the access token pattern? I don't think so. We're using the OAuth pattern. Do I see anything about OAuth here? Nope. OAuth. Map user across app and pages, test login flow. How about this one? Create a new test user, log into Facebook. Great. Go to your app and tap the login with Facebook button. Tap OK to accept permissions. I didn't get that option though. I feel like they're skipping a step. Oh, that's cool. Basic automatic login. So if you're logged into Facebook like on another tab on your web page, on your like browser, if you're not logged into Facebook, the login pop-up will be automatically displayed. A little bit annoying. I don't know about that one. It's something to think about, maybe research. I would want to A/B test that if that actually helps or annoys people. Check login status, that's fine. That's not what I want. So here's the callback URL. I'm really not getting support here. I can try ChatGPT. The other thing I want to try is just guess and check on the domain or an example implementation. All right, let's ask GPT. I implemented social login with Facebook on my web application. My app ID seems to work, but the social authentication fails. I think this is due to an improper callback configuration, but I'm not sure. What should I do? See what GPT-4 comes up with. Includes the protocol, they say. Okay. Oh, maybe I should specify that I'm using next auth. Right. I think this is not correct for me. So let me go to my advanced. Here are the redirect domain allow list. Can I use globs? For the Facebook redirect domain allow list, can I use patterns or globs? E.g. No, okay. So we're doing a bit of guess and check here. Doing localhost 3000. I've done HTTP. So this is what the callback URL is saying. So I don't know why. Here is the URL that my localhost T3 app is attempting to call for Facebook auth. Does it provide any clues? It's useful that GPT can break it down. Okay, so this one I think is listed. Let me double check. Yes, it is. Oh, maybe it just doesn't allow a test. Okay. I am assuming that Facebook will let me test this authentication flow prior to app review and official publishing. Is that true? So maybe the issue is that it wants me to, like, Facebook is just not letting me do it. Yes, you can test. Okay, test users. Facebook allows you to create test users on your app. There's special user accounts. Okay, how do I do this? It talked about it earlier. And I think I did a poor job. Review, testing. Testing not started. Yeah, how do I create a test user? And I guess I'll bring this over here. So like I'm looking through the Facebook docs as well, and I'm just not seeing it, but I think I just haven't like looked well enough, basically. Dashboard. Roles. Ah, is this app roles? Okay, I found it. All right, let me show you this. You can know the app ID. I don't care. You don't know the secret. That's fine. So I was looking under app settings, basic and advanced. I looked under review. I looked under testing. It's in none of those places. It's in the app roles. Here's test users. So let's make a test user. Do you want this app automatically installed for test users? No, I don't think so. No. The ability to create test users is disabled temporarily. On God? Okay, it's gonna do research thing. Yeah, maybe it is just like a current events thing. An issue on Facebook's end. Okay, the recommendation is to wait and retry. I wonder if I can just get the app published. Business verification. I don't really have a business, so don't know how we're going to do that. Name, address, phone number, email, and website for verification. Accepted documents. Certificate, articles of incorporation, business registration or license document. Articles of incorporation, bro. All right, so they are not letting me DBA. They're not letting me do business as just like my own person. They actually want a registered business entity. This is required to access data from users. Only people with a full control of a business account can complete this action. Okay, all right, well, so we're not going to do Facebook. We're not going to do Facebook login, basically, because it requires like an actual business registration, like an EIN or a business license. Certificate of incorporation or formation as well. Okay, well, that's a great note to end on because I guess that turns into a plug. We will incorporate Aria's tail and laterally exactly as soon as it's profitable to do so. So feel free to sign up at laterally.io. And in the meantime, we're going to just be shipping Google Auth. So I hope you enjoyed that feature. Thanks for being here. Talk to you soon.